Welcome to the Big Boom River channel. Today we are going to talk about the real economy of poker. Poker is not just a card game, it's an economy. And if you don't understand the economy, you will always be the product. Why do big sites reduce professional rewards? Why do most sites work with agents? Why does PVI matter so much? Why is almost nobody openly explaining structural rakeback changes? Today I'll break down how the poker ecosystem really works. Poker is liquidity driven. Players go where the most games run, the biggest tournaments exist, the traffic is highest. Game selection is king. Recreationals want action, professionals want recreationals. So traffic concentrates on the biggest platforms. Even live, it's very rare that a city has two equally big poker rooms. There's mainly one dominating casino that has the pricing power. This creates a winner takes it all structure. Large sites have massive advertising budgets, influencer sponsorships, streamer deals, sports partnerships. The real customer is a recreational player. Recreationals deposit, recreationals lose, recreationals redeposit. Professionals extract, sites tax that. When one site becomes dominant, it gains pricing power. Pricing power means higher effective rake, lower rewards, less negotiation power, more restrictive systems. Over time, dominant platforms optimize for profit maximization. They take as much as the market allows. And slowly, the dream of making a living with poker becomes harder. Not because poker became unbeatable, but because the cost structure changed. If professionals destroy recreationals too fast, the ecosystem collapses. So big sites reduce rakeback, use PVI, cap rewards, and adjust reward systems. From their perspective, this protects longevity. From a professional's perspective, margins shrink, and obviously both can be true. Even in live poker, we can see the same economy. Game runners invite fish, professionals need to pay seed fees, they need to tip heavy to get invited again, they need to sell action to the game runner, or they just lose their seed. Fish are scarce, pros are replaceable. Same economic logic. With one major exception, poker stars, most poker sites operate with affiliates or agent structures. Agents help them acquiring players, increase traffic, and reduce marketing costs. The agent system is industry standard. Poker stars is the exception. They have a centralized acquisition, and there's no revenue share negotiation. How the agent system really works. The site pays revenue share to an agent in case the agent brings them players. The agent negotiates with the player before signing up how much of that revenue share the player receives back as additional rakeback. If there's no negotiation, the revenue share remains the profit of the agent. Most recreational players sign up directly at the poker site. They do not use an agent and they do not negotiate, which means 100% of that revenue share stays with the poker site. Professionals who understand the system can negotiate a percentage of the agent's revenue share. That's how extra rakeback is created. Why the agent market is quiet. Most poker sites do not allow agents to publicly advertise extra rakeback deals. They don't want bidding wars. They don't want agents undercutting each other publicly. So negotiations happen privately. That creates information asymmetry. Players who understand the system have an edge. Now I'm going to explain you in detail how the agent revenue is calculated. This is very important for you. It shows you or it helps you negotiating with your agent the share of the agent revenue you get back as extra rakeback, and it helps you to identify if your agent is scamming you. So for that, I show you two different examples of a professional and of a recreational player. with the assumptions that both players generate $10,000 in rake. There's $500 bonus, something like a deposit bonus, and the agent revenue share is 30%. The agent revenue is calculated by multiplying the agent revenue share with the PVI times the actual generated rake minus ocean rewards minus special bonus. Something like the bad beat jackpot or leaderboards don't get deducted. Let's look first at the example of a recreational player with PVI 1.0. Filling the formula with numbers, agent revenue share 0.3 times PVI is 1.0 times $10,000 rake minus $4,000 ocean rewards, that's just my guess, minus $500 bonus. That means the agent revenue is $1,650. Now we look on the numbers of a professional player. Also $10,000 rake generation, same formula. We calculate or we multiply 0.3 agent revenue share times PVI multiplied with $10,000 rake minus now 1,000, not 4,000 like in the recreational player example, because PVI also has a massive impact on the ocean rewards revenue the professional gets. We also deduct $500 for random bonus like deposit bonus because PVI doesn't have an impact on that. The total agent revenue in this example is $150. Same rake generated, $1,650 against $150. Even after lowering the ocean rewards for the professional, the PVI multiplier already shrinks the base dramatically. That's the structural difference. GG rewards ecosystem value, not pure volume. If the agent earns only $150, there's very little room to offer additional rakeback. On the other side, you see how much EV or rakeback the recreational is missing by signing in without an agent. Most sites without PVI calculate like that. The agent revenue is the agent percentage multiplied with the generated rake minus all client rakeback. There's no ecosystem multiplier, volume is volume, and that's why professionals can negotiate stronger deals there. Large platforms sponsor influencers, streamers, ambassadors, and agents. If income depends on a platform, public criticism becomes unlikely. That's not evil, that's incentive alignment. But when incentives reduce open discussion, transparency suffers. Recently, GG effectively reduced professional rakeback significantly. There's lower effective cashback, jam to USD conversion mechanics, and moving from weekly liquidity to long-term redemption system. For grinders, lower effective rakeback, delayed liquidity, capital locked in. And yet, very few major voices explain this clearly. This is not about attacking anyone, it's about responsibility. If you understand the ecosystem, speak openly. Even if you are sponsored, even if you're affiliated, think long term. Because if the ecosystem shrinks, everyone loses. Poker is not just about playing well. It's about understanding where you play, how you structure rakeback, how incentives shape platforms, how power concentration affects margins. I don't just coach hands, I help players understand the system around the game. Because long-term EV is bigger than one session.